Hi mamas, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. I'm Kayla, mum to one, and on my channel I share videos about motherhood, play and learning. So if you want to know how to do Montessori in a small space, an apartment, a small home, or a place that just doesn't have a playroom or access to an area for a lot of materials, then keep watching. You might have seen a lot of Montessori shelves on Instagram and thought, oh my gosh, there is no way I'm going to fit all those materials in my house. I don't have a beautiful playroom. I don't have space for a beautiful playroom. And I'm here to tell you it isn't necessary. And there is a way that you can do Montessori completely effectively, completely amazingly in a small space, and that's what I'm going to share with you today on today's video. So my first tip is DIY and repurpose. I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. My daughter had a shelf in her bedroom, and I bought the shelf specifically because we had a little space where I thought that she could have some toys in her bedroom. For a while she didn't have anything like that, but she was spending more time in there in the mornings when she woke up, and I thought it'd be nice for her to have a few things to keep her occupied if we were still sleeping, or if it was quite early, or if I was in the shower or something like that. So I bought this very small shelf, and that was where we put some really simple toys that she could play with on her own. But then as she got older, she needed more independence with dressing herself. She was really interested in picking out her own clothes, and we didn't have a wardrobe. She's got a very, very small room. So I started thinking, how can I help her to be more independent with her dressing, but without kind of clogging the room with furniture and buying more things that were going to take up more space that we just didn't have. So what I did is I repurposed the shelf to make it kind of dual use, really. I repurposed it into a very small kind of wardrobe for her that was easily accessible to her, and then the top part she still uses for her toys. So it doesn't take up any more space, it's helping her with that independence, and it hasn't cost anything extra to do. I mean, it's not amazing, it's not like the most well-made piece of furniture in the world, but it didn't cost me anything to do apart from buying it, and it was super cheap anyway. What I did is I cut down a kind of rod which I had in our wardrobe, and we weren't using it. I mean, it wasn't the easiest of jobs, to be honest, just because I'm a bit rubbish with a saw, and cutting metal is really difficult. We just didn't have the right tools, but I made it work, got there eventually through the struggles, and now it serves as a really great wardrobe for her, and I can hang everything there so it's not creased. She has her dresses there and her t-shirts, and because she's only little, you know, nothing's very long, so it doesn't really need to be a very big kind of tall wardrobe, and it works perfectly. So other ways that you can repurpose furniture for the use of displaying toys or keeping resources or helping your child to be more independent would be to use spaces that on furniture that you already have. So a really good space we used for a while when my daughter was really young was the kind of shelf bottom of our coffee table. It's not very big, you might have a wider one than we have, but it served perfectly just to put some resources in there that she could reach in and use and play with, and it was really accessible to her. We've got a space under our TV unit, the same type of thing. We've got a couple of cupboards that I just emptied out. It was a good way to work on being more minimalist as well and repurpose the furniture for better use. Another thing you can do if you just don't have a lot of furniture, if you don't have that option to repurpose what you have, then just have baskets, and you can put them out in the morning and then put them away in the evening so they're not taking up space all the time. You could put them under the sofa, tuck them away, you can put them in a wardrobe and then get them out and just lay them out on a rug or around the edges of the room so that the child can get to them and play with the resources and be independent, not have to ask for your help, which is really cool. My point is that repurposing furniture saves money, it saves waste, and it helps your child to be independent. So another way to do Montessori in a small space is to buy open-ended materials. So when I say open-ended, it's something that doesn't really have a purpose or a specific way that needs to be kind of played with. I'll link a video above where I talk more about open-ended materials in one of my previous videos. But basically it can be anything. It can be loose parts, it can be wooden blocks, it could be some track, it could be pieces of wood, it could be shells, it could be silks and blankets and pots and bags and tubs and wooden boxes. It could be anything really that's lying around the house. But the good thing about open-ended materials is they can be used in so many different ways. You can display them differently one day to the next. You can rotate them, and it means that you will have less because they can be used interchangeably together in whatever way your child wants to, in whatever your child is interested in at that time. Animals are also open-ended, vehicles are open-ended, and there are lots of ways that you can set up activities and invitations using these resources in different ways. So it helps you as a parent, but it also means you've got resources that will carry throughout all of their development stages and whatever their interests are as those interests change and evolve, and you can keep them forever, saving money and saving lots of time and effort looking for different resources, every week, every month. If you have a little more space outdoors than you do indoors, maybe you've got a pretty bare garden, but your home might be smaller, so you don't have much space inside, then you can use your outdoors too. And to be honest, spring, summer, autumn, we spend very little time indoors. A lot of our play and learning is outdoors in the garden. Outdoors, we've got a sandpit, we've got vehicles, we've got a table for art and crafts, we've got water play, we've got a mud kitchen, and it might sound like a lot, and you might be thinking, oh yeah, lucky you, I don't have a garden, or my garden's really small, or I only have a balcony, for example. There is space. You can make space. You can make it as big, as little as you want to. It's just about using imagination. It's about finding creative ways to do it cheaply. And believe me, I didn't spend a lot of money. The mud kitchen we made ourselves, I've actually got a video of how we did that, so do check that out on my channel. The sandpit I got secondhand for like £3. A bag of sand is very cheap too. Vehicles you can find at thrift stores to play in the sand. You can find buckets really cheaply. So believe me, it doesn't cost a lot of money, and there's a lot of engagement and play outdoors. One of the benefits of bringing play outdoors is really, you can kill two birds with one stone. Children spending time outdoors is so beneficial for their health and well-being, and as well as enjoying playing outdoors, they're also connecting with nature, which is again super beneficial for children. So my last tip is to observe your child, see what they're interested in, and put away anything that they're not playing with, that they're not engaged with, or just kind of get rid of it, sell it, give it to charity, whatever you want to do. It's going to stop the house being too cluttered, it's going to maintain some order and tidiness, which is good for you and it's good for your child. So don't get sucked in by shelfies and beautiful resources. It's totally not necessary. You don't need to have lots of things, and minimalism is the way forward, especially if you're interested in Montessori. So just make sure the environment is prepared, make sure it's tidy, and that's all you need. So those are my tips. Thank you again for watching. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. So this has been part 2 in my 3-part series, Montessori for Everyone. If you haven't seen part 1, then do head back to my channel and have a look at that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.